Hey guys, Tyrip here, and today we're going to be taking a look at some World Championships action. This is from the weekend, and spawning on the right we have Tiramisu playing as US Forces, and his loadout is Heavy Cav, Infantry Company, and Recon Support. His some is Happycat, plays also who has Lightning War, Festung Armor, and German Mechanized. So Happycat came out of just about nowhere for this tournament, pretty much unknown player. Apparently his player card says he's from the UK, but looking at his player matches history, largely seems to be like a ranged team with players from China. So maybe like a Chinese immigrant or something. So, but yeah, just know just about nothing about him, but makes it exciting to see what he's going to do here against Tiramisu, or GAT. From that was the name he was using during the Balance Invitational, where he came second in the America Pacific bracket. And we are on the revised version of Kholodny Ferma. This should be added to the map pool later this week, I believe. But this was the version being used for the World Championships. It's a bit of a shame that it couldn't get added to auto match in time for proper practice, but here it is. A few revisions, you know, kind of like it was pre-patch, but like a few more minor balance tweaks. Make it a little bit more balanced. A few wee skirmishes around the map. Poking around, seeing what's what. I'll say player, you know, you have to play defensive early on. This spawn can be really tricky. If you lose control of this garrison here, it can be a nightmare to regather control of. So he's just playing like a very, very conservative and cautious match so far, which has led to Tiramisu getting control of a pretty good chunk of the map, and Cat with a much smaller chunk still hasn't even got his fuel under control yet, and looks like he's about to lose the garrison next to the munitions. That is such a pain, but having captured that munitions point early, at least it's going to be somewhat close to a flamethrower. And here we go, Rifleman charging in from multiple angles. Happycat was not prepared for this at all. I don't know about his Grenadier positioning here. And flooding forwards, overwhelming the MG42. Good chase down with this squad as well, keeping pressure on while the other one stays in the heavy cover, duking it out with the Grenadiers, and then kind of soft retreat here, maybe to some further heavy cover positions. Flood of Grenadiers coming forwards, taking up cover. And looks like this squad pulling back, going to jump into the garrison perhaps. But I thought Tiramisu would maybe make a big stand behind this piece of heavy cover, but fighting 3v1, not very efficient.
The enemy is taking our territory.
So this push is starting to fizzle out a little bit. That super wounded squad goes to try and neutralize the munitions, but that squad is super low. Not going to be able to stick around for too long, honestly. Going to start dropping models very quickly, but kind of needs to drop the models so they can actually reinforce. I assume he doesn't want to go for an ambulance this early on in the match. A little bit later on the retreat though, it could end up getting wiped. Running and gunning with the Grenadiers, not ideal. Yeah, it doesn't get the kill. The squad also retreating. But overall, pretty good start for Tiramisu. Happycat super slow on the fuel. Tiramisu goes for like a double light vehicle push. This will be hard to repel. He's gone for the Lieutenant, getting the second stage of the tech going now. Looks like maybe Tiramisu is coming out here to wire off this retreat path. Trying to avoid getting suppressed by the MG. Lieutenant pushing through the middle. The echelon going on a bit of a world tour here. And wow, that's interesting. Very, very early healing from Happycat. You'll see that after tier 2, but he put that down really early, and it does mean he's only got 3 Grenadiers on the field at the moment. Just floating a bit of resources, but can happen sometimes as Oss there when you don't... well, you have to build your tech structures, you know. It's not like the Western Front factions where you can just do everything without having your engineers in your base. Rifleman closing the distance here now. Grenadiers trying to fight from the light cover, but getting overwhelmed. Those riflemen are so powerful. And it looks like Tiramisu going straight into the Stuart. It's going to come in at such a fast timing. Got the neutralize on the cutoff there. Harassing the fuel now. Another rifle squad coming around. Tier 2 is up. Ambulance coming in following this for Tiramisu. And wow, Happycat going for a mortar. This is very unusual. Not even up against a 50 cal yet.
We have a mortar team available for deployment. The enemy is taking our territory.
Gonna get forced away straight away. Notice Happycat didn't go for like the style that I usually recommend, putting like a sandbag here so that you can fight against this building more effectively if you do lose control of it. But he does have the flamethrower and the mortar there, so I suppose he's got things pretty well handled. Machine gun in a bit of trouble. Pack coming in for Happycat. Oh boy, oops. Reset that machine gun up. Trying to hold the line there, looks like. Lieutenant out in the open. Ooh. Okay, mortar doesn't do too much damage. Happycat going for the center right now. But yeah, very curious he goes for mortar. That is unexpected.
New anti-tank gun has arrived.
Seeing a couple bars getting picked up now by Tiramisu. Still no commander selection from him yet. We are seeing a lot of players like lock in their commander quite early on. You know, if you're going for heavy cav, you want to be able to put those sandbags and mines down early. Recon support, you probably want to mix in a squad pathfinders early. So it's quite typical to see a US Forces player pick their commander very early on at the moment. Not in this match. Stuart there harassing the fuel once again. Happycat in some big trouble. Here comes the pack now. G42 in the building. In there. Ooh. Pack might be able to get one more shot off here. Oh, but it misses. Lucky break for the Stuart. Our squad softening up this Grenadier in the building. Oh, it gets out in time though. Some action on the south. Being chased away by the lieutenant. Pioneers there. Checking on what Happycat's got going across the map. Nothing too drastic. And we did see Tiramisu also pick up a mortar team trying to flush out MG42, but it's already on the move. Looks like he relocated to the south maybe to fight off the lieutenant. Oh, mortar versus mortar action here. Comes to Stuart, finds the machine gun. Pack still up in the north.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
And our Tiramisu going for a 50 cal himself. Oh boy, oh, Grenadier goes down in the north there to that bar up rifleman. Happycat instantly rebuilding it, and we are seeing Happycat has been floating a little bit of manpower. Usually suggests a little bit of uncertainty in the build order. Sometimes can happen if you're a little bit behind and your timings have got messed up. Go for another grenadier though. Okay, it's a safe choice, I suppose.
The enemy is gaining a foothold. We are down to 300 points.
Yeah, pretty good start for Tiramisu. Already drained out 200 VPs and vastly superior map control. See Happycat mobilizing his pack to do a little bit of capping here. A little bit risky. Especially if you reveal its position. Stuart can just go to wherever it is not. Do some harassment. Which is going to be the center on this occasion. Still up in the north, but did capture that territory. Looks like he's bringing it down now. Rifleman pushing in from multiple angles here. This one got forced off though. Gotta pull the trigger, the closer distance will get out. LMG rifles are much more, LMG Green is a much more powerful long range. There's a second machine gun coming in for Happycat, interesting. Knows he's behind, just gonna try commit. Tiramisu getting reasonably close to a tank. So second pack might have been in order here, and speaking of packs, this one's in big trouble, about to go down to these bar rifles. Fighting in from multiple angles, there we go, down it goes. Stuart pulls back for repairs, their mortars nearby can start softening up the machine gun into the building. Rifles do get forced off here. Looks like Happycat coming for the recrew. Yep, he's going to be able to regather it, so crisis averted. Probably could have brought the Stuart back in once the pack was decrewed, but playing a conservative style. I was going to work on machine guns for both factions. And here comes the Stuart. Around the corner this time. Cal in a bit of trouble in the centre though. Oh man, so many different angles of fighting here. Oh, but the mortar team sitting up out in the open, that was a bit of a mistake. Also the squad inside the building getting very low. Tiramisu a little bit unglued here, but he causing some major arty. Here comes the lieutenant jumping out of this building from the wrong side, but doesn't end up backfiring. Tiramisu keeping the pressure on. Only 200 VPs remaining now for Happycat. Happycat hasn't even tried to start the tick up process either.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Coming back around the corner.
The sector has been cut off.
Gonna go harass in the south, it looks like, packing down that way. Did spot it coming through the middle. Before setting up, forces a retreat. 50 cal maybe could have stayed in there. It did have suppression on maybe 2 models of the MG. Back, looking for an angle. Might have to just go for some attack ground attempts here. Doesn't have the sight. Here we go. Gets one in. Another one in. Oh boy, Stuart in a bit of trouble. Third one. Nice attempt. Good attack ground work there by Happycat. Oh, it's got inside the building. Taking a hammering from the mortar.
The enemy is taking our
Happycat
territory.
really struggling. This heavy cover position here, overlooking the fuel, causing him so many headaches throughout the match. He's on winning out over the Grenadiers in the centre there. And he's desperately trying to cap in the north, but that gets shut down. Could even lose them. Oh, the bars don't quite get the job done. But here we go. We've got a Sherman hitting the field for Tiramisu. Switching over to the high explosives, getting the machine gun. Still only one AT gun for Happycat. Happycat does have a decent chunk of fuel, but trying to accumulate the manpower to get himself to a vehicle can be extremely costly. Especially with a HE Sherman on the field bleeding him out. Here it comes. Nice opening shot there. Stewart getting in deep, going right on past the pack. Repositioning it here. Happycat setting up. Resetting up. Stewart doing the darts. He's on the road though, which is handy for him. And decrews the MG up here. Sets up for one shot, but he misses the Stewart. He's trying to crawl through the middle, but getting shut down by the 50 cal. Second pack coming for Happycat is his only option. Now, but the MG42 getting stolen away by Tiramisu, man. Just been non-stop action against Happycat so far. I see a teller down here, it looks like. Oh, that's Stewart. So close to it. It gets revealed by the sweeper there. I'm going to reap any rewards from it. Tiramisu breaking away from the north. 109 VPs. Oh, Sherman just going in here. 2 packs here. Happycat could defuse this one. Looks like Tiramisu not going to chase in too far. And that's a wise choice. Ends up getting Fausted in front of 2 AT guns. A little bit risky here for Tiramisu. Smoking off retreats. Stewart coming in, acting as a bit of a diversion. Pack pushes through the smoke and starts getting blasted by these double bar riflemen from the south. Nearly gets decrewed. A triple cap running for Tiramisu. And this is looking grim. Second Sherman going to come in for him. No relief for Happycat. Continuing to pile on the pressure. That gets decrewed. Oh, and squad inside the building goes down. Happycat throws in the towel with that. So a pretty dominating performance right from the start by Tiramisu. Happycat a little bit confused about his capping order and his grenadier positioning early on. Did not seem very well prepared to deal with like the riflemen pushing in. But I do find playing as Osseer from this spawn very tricky on this map. Though I haven't obviously played this exact version of the map. But yeah, good start for Tiramisu. So getting stuck in now for game 2 between these two. Still on Kholodny Ferma. This time playing from the right we have Happycat playing as Soviets, and his loadout is Soviet Combined Arms, Armored Assault, and Guard Motor Coordination. SF gets them on the left. We have Tiramisu playing as OKW, and his loadout is Elite Armor, Overwatch. And Grand Offensive. No Fallschirmjäger there. No Luftwaffe ground forces. Interesting. Also, pretty interesting commander here. Soviet Combined Arms for Happycat. It's a bit of a weird one. So just capping up. Going for a conscript build. Conscripts combined with tier 1. Unusual. Don't often see this. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it pans out. The WC, the M3A1, very powerful on Kholodny Ferma though. Can force a lot of retreats in the early game. But yeah, 2 conscripts with the tier 1 start. Unusual. See Happycat putting up some sandbags on this point in his fuel. That's interesting. Help, you know, if he's defending, coming in, squads coming from here. Whilst capping. Some more sandbags down on this point here. They're trying to wire off the center. Forward, complete the wire. German Pioneers looking to sneak around the corner there. And we are seeing a M3. Coming down the center. Little, you know, about 30 munitions off a flamethrower, so putting a combat engineer inside is not going to be super effective. Tiramisu putting up some wire on this piece of cover here. In the meantime, that's a nice move. We'll control that church. Here we go. M3 closing the distance. We have 3 squads nearby though, so let off a little bit more than he can chew. Especially with all the heavy cover positions that are available here for Tiramisu. Conscripts house sneaking onto the munitions point, and we do have opportunities capping in the north. And looks like Tiramisu gonna go for a Raketin here to try and deal with the M3. Interesting. German Pioneers and Folks chasing away the conscripts, but they oorah back rather than just outright retreating. Soft retreat. M3 looking for a target. Still doesn't quite have the flamethrower upgrade though for the combat engineers. Conscripts fall back to the sandbag position. Tiramisu on the defensive, that M3 keeping him pegged in. And Happycat, okay, I thought maybe he's going to go for a penal squad, but continuing down the conscript train, so just getting the tick for the M3. Interesting. And now here's the flamethrower. Ooh, big burst. Big second burst. That Folk's in big trouble. He's going to lose it. Here comes the Raketin, gets 1 shot off. There's 2 shots off, but there's 2 squads down for Tiramisu. Not a good trade for him at all. And now Happycat flooding forwards, going for the cutoff. A grim start for Tiramisu. And the problem is, you know, when going for the M3, for the Raketin to counter the M3, you know, you can get the job done, but then you're left with this unit that can't find anything until they get their T70 potentially, so it is a little bit useless for the next few minutes. He's trying to go send it out to the slow side of the map, do a bit of capping, so it's good work from Tiramisu, but can't help in the fight against Happycat's army here. And in the meantime, we're seeing a whole bunch of sandbags going down all over the show for Happycat. Going to make it very hard for Tiramisu to push back out. Tiramisu did pick up this tech truck and rebuilding the Stern Pioneers. Didn't sweep it coming along, and we have seen some wire going up as well from Happycat. More mines on top of that, and here we go, sweeping up these mines. There's not too much to spend your munitions on in the early game when going for like a conscript build, so might as well plant down a whole gang of mines. It is fighting the conscripts there. Stern But he is uncertain where to go, but here we go, flamethrower closing the distance. Forcing the squad out of heavy cover. Stone Pioneer's closing the distance now. Looks like he's just going to charge in now with all of his units. We have conscripts coming in from multiple angles though. Merging into the flamethrower, but it's just too much firepower there. Stone Pioneer's making the difference. Still Tiramisu struggling for territory, is putting down the mechanized. But going to be hard to come by enough fuel for a Lux or a Puma anytime soon. But usually you don't have a very good build order for when you lose two squads like that so early on. And looks like that's the case here. Struggling against Happycat. Losing those two squads. Okay, he's going for some Jaeger lights, so that's where he's going. I thought maybe he's gonna go for some MG34s. But no, Jaeger lights, pretty good choice. Some semi-elite infantry at this point in the game should be quite nice. We see some guards coming in the other side for Happycat though, having selected guard mode of coordination. Gonna have their work cut out for them, fighting off those guards. Doesn't even have the munitions or the G43 upgrade on that yet though. It's like the conscripts here capping up in the south, getting all the sandbags down again as well. Sandbags, just fighting into a squad, in heavy cover every single time is such a chore. Makes it so much harder every time you have to push back out. It's one thing that really sets the top level players apart from the rest. Just putting sandbags down everywhere. Molotovs in from Happycat, forcing the Jaeger lights to soft retreat here. And there's the G43 upgrade. But outnumbered 2v1 against the conscripts. Eventually they're going to lose. They haven't dropped E-mods, but there they go. And it looks like Tiramisu's on board with getting some sandbags down on this point to fight against this garrison. Guards not going to try pile on the damage, not going to try go for the bleed, just going for more territory control. Do see tier 3 down for Happycat, but at this stage might be worth just going straight for a medium. His control is so good right now. Now seeing a Lux coming in for Tiramisu.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
Tries to bring the Raketin out to do some capping, but gets forced off straight away. Do you have a Stone Pioneer squad in the south doing some capping though? And here we go, we get to see that heavy cover position there, paying dividends. The squad inside the building getting blasted by all these Fox Grenadiers behind the sandbags. What happened to the Jaeger lights that were up here? When they're going to fight these conscripts, do you accidentally retreat them? I'm not sure. A little bit unusual. Tiramisu, oh. Okay, Lux hits the field and Happycat decides to pull the trigger on a T-70 once he sees that. The good thing, usually you'd have to worry about Tiramisu fielding a Puma, not sure after this, but because Tiramisu has had so little fuel control, that's not really going to be a factor. Tripwire flare going off there. The kitten should probably be trying to shoot down these sandbags. He's going for them now. Nice work. There we go. Sandbags gone. Guards switch positions over to the other set of sandbags now. They're also getting blasted down. Softening up those guards. Grenade in. Stays behind cover. Dodges to the side. Good work by Tiramisu. Pushing back onto his munitions point. Second squad of Jaegers called in, but here comes the T-70 from the other side. Raketin has been forced to retreat, or didn't really get forced to retreat. We kept it on the battlefield. Oh boy, and T-70 coming in Oh, he doesn't chase him for the kill here. Very interesting. The Jaegers though. This is a tough retreat path over the road as well. A little bit of negative cover. Potentially the squad could go down. T-70 not getting nice hits. I mean, I've seen a T-70 wipe a squad like that many a time. Definitely was within the realm of possibilities. He's still struggling for map control though. At least he's drained a few VPs off Happycat, which may count down the stretch. Here comes the looks. We're getting nearby. T-70 wants to engage. Here it comes. Should be able to get a shot off. There it goes. But fine from behind the cover. Looks very slow to knock down these conscripts. Oh, but the Jaeger's coming in from the side though with their criticals. And the low health models should be pretty helpful. Looks can soften them up. Jaegers can snipe low health models. Kitten coming in. Trying to find an angle. Looks continuing to go to work on these conscripts, doing a good job. T-70 way in the back, a bit slow to get the repairs going on that. And come the guards. Kitten might get forced off here. No, he's got to keep it on the battlefield. Pretty low in health though. Guards use firing positions. Renamed hit the dirt. I believe it's firing positions. Molotov predictively on the incoming squad. There's a couple ticks of flames going there. And T-70 coming around the corner now, fully repaired.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
Missing its first two shots, however. After the stern pioneers, they really want to get the neutralized before retreating, and there they go. Looks coming in. The kitten coming in. Maybe this was a bit of a bait. Kitten gets one shot off. Might have to go for the attack round. Yeah, I think he went for it, but conscript anti-tank grenade onto the looks.
The enemy has cut off a sector.
So can't go for the chase down.
Forces are neutralizing a sector.
Player's pulling back for some more repairs, but Tiramisu stabilizing a little bit at the very least. Going for another engineer, combat engineer as Happycat. Probably needs to get that sweeper. Fair idea. And Tiramisu is going to just stay the course and go for the Puma. Should help him deal with the T-70. And yeah, you can see Tiramisu finally got a good chunk of the map under his control now. It's making a big difference. G34 into the building as well, helping him lock down the center. And yeah, things are looking up overall. Two squads of Jaegers in the north though, they're not going to match up very well against the T-70. Guards in the church. Softening up these folks. And Puma heading up to the north now as well. T-70 hanging back though, here it comes. And Puma coming in with prioritize vehicles on. Looking for the kill on the T-70, connecting. Oops. Connecting again. No conscripts, so here comes the squad now for the AT grenade potentially. Puma needs one more shot on the T-70 and gets the kill there. Those guards still in the building, not coming up for the follow-up. Puma gonna, I don't know. Will it die to one more AT grenade? It's gonna be close. It might. It might just die to one more AT grenade. Guards coming up now from the church. And out here, trying to inflict as much damage as he can. Here comes the looks now, finally joining in. Yeah, it doesn't quite go down, but here come the guards. Can the guards make the difference? Looks is there. boxes there. So the guards. Guards getting shredded though. Looks doing some good damage. The user. Oh yeah, I can't see it obviously because I'm using the veterancy mod. I believe it's called firing positions these days. Looks doing a bit more damage on the exit, but now with two pretty wounded light vehicles, Tiramisu gonna have to pull back a little bit. Nice merge there. Conscripts merging into the guards, keeping them on the battlefield. They're pretty well vetted now as well, hitting vet 2. Does make a pretty big difference. Tiramisu down to 300, but you know, he's contesting the VPs at the very least. Not nearly as dominated as Happycat was in game 1. 7-man conscripts coming online though for Happycat, as well as a T-34. That looks like a T-34-85. Indeed it is. So it's going to be a little bit more firepower, a bit tougher for the Puma to deal with that big boy. But you know, that's the end of Happycat's range. You know, he doesn't have an IS-2 on this commander. So it's a bit of a relief for Tiramisu, I suppose. Also doesn't have like a huge off-map like the IL-2 Loiter. Kitten opens up on the T-34-85, but still forced a few retreats in the middle. Here comes the Puma now, misses his first shot. Backs away, go and try to use its range. It's got 10 better range than the T-34-85. Oh boy, oh man, that was a juicy hit. MG goes down. Puma in there, looking for a bit of revenge. But getting the job done, and Happycat causing the marked vehicle plane, which is enough to scare Tiramisu away. One of the main benefits of having the marked vehicle plane at the moment is just the recon it provides of where the Puma is. A little bit easier to position. Oh! Did a squad of conscripts go down? No, the guards went down in the north. Maybe the conscripts as well. He's lost one of each. Okay, so Happycat losing a little bit of momentum here after that strong start to the match. And there with the T-34-85 does have the vehicle crew repairs from remember with this commander. Ooh, big shot from the 85. Puma coming down to stop any further chase down. And there we go, hits a tripwire. He has planted a couple of those. They are pretty good for their price. A bit of spare time. It's a good idea. And now stolen MG34 in the possession of Happycat. Turn against Tiramisu. So he's going for another one though. Rebuilding it. Let's put down the tech truck, the Schwer going up, covering these 2 points. Pretty standard positioning there. Could have tried to hold out, you know, maybe gone for a squad of Obers instead of the MG, but not going to be the case. And Happycat, you know, it is just slowing down. Now you know, you see Tiramisu with actually like a larger army size at this stage. He has turned it around a little bit. Happycat's still going to be able to get his second medium tank out at a pretty good timing, and if he does... Oh yeah, no, he's going for his this. Okay. Thought maybe he's going to go for a second medium tank. And then make a big push, you know, diving under these... vehicles, overwhelming them. Not going to be the case. Going for the Zis instead. 85 doing some maneuvers in the south, but now rotating back to the middle. Tiramisu stabilizing here. Even turning things around. Now 100 points have been drained off Happycat. Getting in a nice position to assist there. We've been taking a couple shots as well. Superman conscripts in the building trying to soften up this machine gun. There's this. They're coming down the middle. It's just getting shut down on the flanks. Here comes the Zist down the middle though. This should assist. He's got enough munitions for the barrage and he's going to open up with it. 485 getting repaired currently. We're pushing the south from Tiramisu, coming around there with the sweeper again, cleaning up the last of those mines. And the Jaeger squad. Okay, is this getting a shot on the looks, pushing it back. G34 also covering the center. Tiramisu unable to capture. A5 a little bit undecided where to go. Then we're coming down the middle, gonna run straight into the Zis. And a little break here. Happycat, wow, he's going for an SU-85. Interesting. It'll be a little bit tricky using the SU-85 on this map. Got a few, you know, like awkward angles that tanks, you know, with turrets are quite strong on, whereas assault guns can struggle.
SU-85 tank destroyer ready.
We'll see how it pans out for him. Tiramisu is still about 40 fuel away from a Panzer IV if that's the direction he's heading, so got some time to work before that Panzer IV arrives. We're a push now from Tiramisu in the south. Grenades forcing the retreats there. We're repositioned now from Happycat. Do have a kitten down here just in case the T-34-85 shows itself. And here it comes. There we go, good shot in there. Good positioning from Tiramisu, bringing along the Rakitten for this push. Second shot misses though. And a push at the same time through the middle from Tiramisu. This coming down from the north though, looking for a barrage. Ooh, that's a big shot. No retreat from Tiramisu. Oh boy. These two squads super low. SU-85 is there dealing with the light vehicles. 85 wants to mop up the infantry, but no, switches back to the looks. There's the Rakitten, not in position to assist. SU-85 pumping away. Rakitten coming, but it's coming slowly. And Happycat going on the offensive here, looking for the kills. Dropping the SU-85 onto focus sight mode, hoping to catch these light vehicles deep in enemy territory. Rakitten also looking for an angle. And did he get a squad there? And maybe he got a squad of Volksgrenadiers there with the T-34-85. Now he's pulling back. And Rakitten in a pretty decent position, but doesn't quite get a shot off. Oh, but might end up losing this Jaeger squad, trading through the middle. Oh, I'm not sure. Oh, 85 misses that shot. Crucial shot. And a second Rakitten there. Misses its shot. And yeah, potentially by going for that second Rakitten did delay his medium tank, but might be thinking about going for a Panther at this stage now. Faust coming through on 85. Oh, pretty good shot in there though, with the main gun. And yeah, all was calm, but as you can see, you know, at the end of that fight, army size is pretty similar. So Tiramisu doing pretty well. He's got a decent chunk of fuel. Looks, wow, he's going for another truck. So he's just going to delay his tanks even further. I mean, there's no way you can be thinking about going for a king target from here, though. He must just want the healing. But it's not like he needs the munitions particularly. Maybe he really wants the off-map strike, though. Looks operating in the south. This is where the 35 can be a little bit awkward. Into the center, but missing its shots. Now under fire from the Jaegerlights in return. 35 trying to find an angle here in the south, and Tiramisu gearing up for a big push right down the center. Is this in a bit of trouble here, getting sniped down by the Jaegerlights? Is 35 in a good position to repel the looks, however? Ooh, takes a big 1-2 from the Raketans. Going for another 85. And this is where, you know, you see a lot of players going for advanced warfare. The IL-2 Sturmvik so useful in putting a halt to this kind of push from OKW, but eventually Happycat getting the job done, slowly whittling away at the incoming forces and halting that push, but it's a tricky one. 3485 in a bit of trouble here. Oh, clears the arc in time. Here comes the second one now. Now a bit of a counter push here from Happycat, but Tiramisu does have his off-map ready, the sector assault. Pushing in, and this Raketin on the road taking a lot of damage. Negative cover. Oh, he gets decrewed at a crucial moment just as he's about to round the corner. And all systems go here for Tiramisu, trying to come back out. Make sure this doesn't fall into enemy hands, but he hasn't popped the off-map. No sector assault yet. But just the firepower from the STG squads and the Jaegerlights enough to deter Happycat from going for the steal. 35 missing its shots there. Kid missing in return. And now everything's pulling back. Oh, is 35 going back in? And then going back out. Okay. 3485 in the south, repelling the squads. Tiramisu still with the 200 VPs left, so not too dire for him yet, and still has that in the bag. Sector assault, but has been bleeding a lot of manpower, so nowhere near enough for a tank at the moment, which is causing him a few headaches. Nice attack ground there through the tree line. 35 chasing in, wants to get the kill. Pops the marked vehicle plane up. The Zis is there. 5 pulls back. The kittens are there. Oh, MG in the building in jeopardy. Oh, gets out just before another T-34-85 shot comes through, and that would have been the killing blow too, so nice timing to evacuate. Oh, big shot from 85 in the south. Tiramisu just kind of stuck here, unable to accumulate the manpower to go for a vehicle. Bleeding pretty hard. Oh, and now Rakidin in a little bit of trouble. Out on negative cover again. Oh boy, that's going to go down. Oh, somehow survives. 35 pumping away, but missing its shots. Those light vehicles do have a pretty small target size, a little bit trickier to hit. Might have even been attack grounds. It looks like Tiramisu doesn't want to pull the trigger on the sector assault just to buy himself some breathing room. Really wants to use it for a big, like, winning offensive rather than just playing defensively with it. But yeah, as you can see here, he just keeps bleeding, keeps bleeding. Oh boy, might be another decrewed rocket in there. No. Caught too early every time. We're coming in. Going for the aim shot on the SU-85, but the Zis is there. Gets the stun on it. And he's calling in the planes, but doesn't have the reconnaissance behind this. No, the plane's going to the south though, finding the T-34-85 down there rather than going for the SU-85. Looks coming in behind this, trying to put pressure on the Zis, but the infantry a little bit lagging.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
T-35 getting chased away in the south. But still pushing forwards. He needs to bring up the Rakitans along with this, and that's something he's not doing at the moment. But this does buy a lot of breathing room for Tiramisu, you know. It just has to pull back out of the area for quite some time as a result of this. Now safe to come back in. Oh boy, it looks might take engine damage here. Conscripts Uraring in. Nope. Ooh, T-34-85 getting in there for a pretty big hit. Shots missing there. Then we're coming back in. Going straight after the 85, but takes a big shot from the T-34-85 and the Zis. Straight away falling back. And is Tiramisu going for the King Tiger? I mean, kind of seems like it. Could be starting the Panther as we speak, but not doing that as of yet. And now we have a mortar coming in from Happycat. This is actually a pretty decent idea. Late game mortar help put some pressure on the Rakidins. Now that they can't creep around and cover, you don't see them using camouflage quite so often. Creep around camo, I mean. And the Soviet mortar does have the flare at Vet 0, which is pretty damn handy. Pop up a flare before making your assault, or pop up your flare, then barrage whatever you see that you spotted. And this is like a fine timing for it, you know. Happycat basically at his supply limit. Seems like a little bit more. Supplementing this rather than, you know, getting one super early on and not having enough to fight off the infantry. Here we go, Puma coming in, going for the aim shot, but the S-35 is there. Oh boy, what died? There's a squad of Jaeger Lights somewhere. But where? There. How did that die? I have no idea. Ooh. Oh, 2 squads down in quick succession for Tiramisu. Not what he needed to see. right as the King Tiger hits the field as well. That's unfortunate. And King Tiger might struggle, you know, he's up against the SU-85, the King Tiger's probably best counter, honestly. You know, use the focus sight spotting at long range with its super strong penetration and good rate of fire. It's extremely good against the King Tiger. There we go, King Tiger coming forwards, over blocking. It looks, down it goes. King Tiger coming down. Happycat doesn't have the munitions for target. Mark vehicle. I say mark target. So there's one thing going in Tiramisu's favour at the moment, but King Tiger running straight down the centre. Looking for the decrew on the Zis. Some pretty good damage in. Double Rakitans pushing behind this. Zis taking quite some time to go down though. And in the meantime, King Tiger taking some damage. T-485 circling, going for the rear. This does finally get decrewed, but Rakitans having trouble finding an angle. And then we go main gun crit on the King Tiger. And Rakitans yet to fire a shot here, just couldn't quite get the angle right on them. King Tiger goes down, Puma goes down. Rakitans out there in no man's land, and Tiramisu throws in the towel. Well, I mean, Happycat got off to a really strong start. It does seem to be quite hard to play as Axis in the early game on this map. You seem to be a little bit at the mercy of the allies. Like, this just seems quite hard to defend your fuel and munitions area. But Tiramisu did get out of there, and eventually going for the King Tiger, but man, just so many things going wrong for him right at the end of the match there, losing 2 squads, then losing the looks, and then just overextending in the center with the King Tiger. Maybe getting a little bit unlucky, decrewing the Zis, taking a couple more shots than usual, but that's the Zis' strong suit, you know, it's got 6 men on it, hard to decrew. So we'll go onwards to game number 3, which will be on Crossroads, I believe.